longer wear hoodies all the time. I actually wear cute clothes to the racetrack again. So that's neat. Yeah,
He
I
still
don't get too
wears
many.
hoodies all the time. I don't. No, shit, this is bull.
It does
I
help when
don't
it's
make it too
90
many
and humid.
races.
It's 80
Yeah.
and humid. Becca's sitting there. It's a bit chilly out. Do you think we can turn the heat on in the truck? Becca, it's 94. Like I
Not
said,
warm
it's a
enough.
bit chilly.
Speeding up, no slowing down.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Track Packers podcast for episode 21 of season 4. Coming off a very, very fun weekend where we get to recap some fun racing action with myself, Mason, Mr. John Breckel, the Pelkeys, Becca returns after a long time away, and Mr. Jessup Pelkey also for a full field today. John, how are you doing this week?
I am doing quite well. So, Boy Mason, it was a busy weekend with racing. So, both of us were on multiple tracks. We traveled and got to see, like Jessup would say, lots of cars. And just had a really good weekend overall, besides the weather shenanigans that were out there for maybe just a little bit of it, but still had a fun weekend.
So would that mean there was not a lot of racing with all the weather shenanigans? Becca, you
Well,
know what this means?
Mason and I
Premature yellow.
we still had partaked in quite a bit of racing.
I'll say we still partook in quite a bit of racing, live and
Partake
in
or
person as
partook?
well.
Did you say partook
Yes,
with the ED?
partake.
Mason, stop, listen, and re-record this episode.
It's recording.
Yes, it is recording. Jessup,
there
how are
an
you doing
agenda?
this week? There's always an agenda.
Who
Actually,
are
no,
we
that's
talking
not
to?
true.
Mason, I liked it better when you sent a screenshot of the agenda into our group chat.
Yes, that was
I liked
awesome. The
that.
one time I did that out of the 100 plus episodes we've done on the Track Packers podcast.
What's a group
I'm
chat?
just letting you know that I liked it.
Okay, well, I'll notate that for
like it.
future reference.
Because sometimes I can't find it in the Google Drive. And I am proficient in Google Drive, but sometimes I just can't find it. I mean, I use them for work all the time.
That-
She's proficient.
I'm putting this flag out there because I think otherwise on that.
You can't
You
yellow
know
flag
what?
me before the
You know
official
what?
drop of
I'm
the
just
green
gonna
flag.
do this to make this feature go faster. This is a flagman decision.
When did we do the heat races?
Doesn't matter. We're going green.
You can't just run a feature.
black,
You have to have
yellow.
some sort of qualifying event, whether it's
Jamestown
qualifying
special. We're going
laps
black, yellow
or
from the
or
beginning.
heat
Screw you guys.
races
There's
or
weather on the way. We got to get through this show.
your sanctioning bodies don't take too kindly to that. So
No, they don't.
whatever.
Oh,
Anyways, Jessup, how are you doing this week?
I don't know. I feel like I'm being victimized here by the bullying, John. John's being nice to me, and Becca's being mean to me, and Mason's being cruel with the unnecessary flagging things that may or may not be on this podcast.
We haven't even thrown the official green flag, so right now we're all still in our starting positions.
So would this be like a fight in the pit? And if that's the case, you two get black flags.
How often do fights happen before the races even start?
You'd be surprised. I'm doing good, Mason. Overall, it has been a fine week so far. John's head is even shinier than normal. We must be getting closer to bowling season. He's testing out new waxing compounds and polishing compounds for the new balls that he's going to be playing with this winter.
Yes, it would be nice if the smoke would disappear so we could have actual sunshine rather than the glare off of John's
Well,
head.
so here's the thing. You know where the smoke's coming from. When John's sitting at work, he's just got his head down and the sun's coming through the window and it's hitting his head and deflecting off onto his work papers that he's got on his desk, and it's a rash outbreak of fires coming from John's office.
You know, the joke is on Jessup here because we're paperless.
Well, then
But I was
John's desk is on fire.
It's hilarious. Well, good to hear you're doing all right, Jessup. Becca, it's been a while since we've seen you. How have you been doing lately?
oh gosh, it has been a while. Let's see. Since the last time I've been on here, I stopped breastfeeding. I wear bras again. So that's always a win. And let's see what else has been going on in my life. Been gone to some racing, saw some good late model racing. So
John,
that's
by the
good.
time she gets done with this, I'm gonna feel like the lady at the end of Titanic where she goes, "It's been 83 years."
I believe the quote is 84 years, but sure.
Whatever. It's somewhere in the 80s, and she's gonna toss some billion-dollar diamond into the ocean, and then she's gonna kick the bucket on that poor boat.
Spoiler alert, because I don't think I've actually ever seen the full.
Hey, you want another spoiler alert, Mason? Hey, even after all these years, the pool on the Titanic is still full of water.
That is such a terrible joke, but it's hilarious.
Wait. Too soon?
Gosh, that is so terrible.
What? It is full of water. It was 89 years.
Glad you're back on the show, Becca. We've missed you.
Thank you. Also, I saw late models, and that always makes me happy. So yeah.
I'm doing well myself, coming off a very, very strenuous week mentally for me. But this week and probably the next couple weeks are going to be pretty relaxing. So looking forward to kind of winding down into special season, so to speak, because that's coming up pretty darn soon. So we want to thank all you watchers, listeners of the Track Packers podcast. We greatly appreciate the support week in and week out. I want to send a couple shout outs once again to Blaine Guthmiller, one of our biggest fans out over in Jamestown. And thank you again to Scotty Ireland, one of the announcers down in the Montevideo area, checking out our shows and episodes. And as always, we have to thank our presenting sponsor, Hitch Harness, Tyler Hall, out of Fertile, Minnesota, who I don't believe, unfortunately, got any racing action this week, as Mother Nature did quite a bit of damage as far as cancellations go this week. But Hitch Harness, presenting sponsor. John, would you like to talk a little bit about Hitch Harness and the products and services that they provide?
Yeah, Tyler has a great business out there. He's got a great model on his website of thehitchharness.com. You can have all types of protection for your hitches and your truck bed. So be sure to protect those. We do not want any of those rolling around, flying out of the truck bed, hitting Jessup in the forehead. I mean, he's already losing his hair. We don't need that even to get even worse with being hit with one of those hitches. Also, he's got a lot of accessories that are out there for anybody to partake in on his website. So again, there's a bunch of products and services that he provides. Great business. Check out hitchharness.com. And Tyler, thank you for sponsoring us here on the podcast.
Absolutely. Hopefully get that feature win before the end of the 2025 season. He's really close, especially in the IMCA modified class. Also, kind of a missed opportunity. We should have gotten a special hitch harness for John when he had his truck. Do you still have that truck, John?
No, I've had my Traverse has been back now for the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Missed opportunity.
I got it back right before Governor's Cup.
Dang. Well, as you can see the lineup, John is still on the pole. Jessup is still on the outside pole. I'm in the back row, but this time I'm not by myself because Becca's joining me back here. Hi, Becca.
Hi.
Becca finally got her motor fixed.
Yeah, she was sidelined for a few weeks, and once everything came back from the engine builder, now she's back up and running. And so nice to see a full field for today's episode. So why don't we get things started with the official waving or drop of the green flag and get right into who or what we are repping with Mr. John Breckle starting it off.
Okay, so this weekend is a big weekend of racing across our area. And it's not even because so much of specials per se, with added prize money or anything else into purses. This weekend is going to be focused a lot on providing funds over to people that are battling with cancer and other illnesses. So this week at the Dakota Speedway is Drive to Survive. So I am wearing the brand new Drive to Survive t-shirt. If race fans have purchased this, they can still purchase them too before we have the races on Friday night, the 15th of August. And if you go into Dakota Speedway with a shirt on or one of the caps, you will be free for admission. So be sure to purchase one of these. All the proceeds will go to the Bismarck Cancer Center. They will also be doing a high heels race as well. That high heels race will be Friday night over in the Dakota Speedway in Mandan, and then Saturday over in Jamestown to support their cancer benefit for the Jamestown Regional Medical Center on Saturday night. So big week planned here. A lot of money has gone to the Bismarck Cancer Center. I mean, alone for us, we've almost raised, and we might be over now, $40,000 to the Cancer Center. So that is pretty darn good with how many years we have now run the Drive to Survive, and it'll be a nice one. A lot of cars dress their paint schemes in pink, add some some ribbons or some other stuff onto their schemes here to celebrate the night. So we all know somebody that's affected by the illness. Be sure to come out and kind of support it as we're raising funds to help research and help people that are going through the tough times.
Yes, absolutely. Very good cause over there at Dakota Speedway. They do this every year in August. I believe, was it 2008 or 2009 the first year?
Yep.
2009.
Yeah, Becca, because how many years are we into currently with the Drive to Survive?
17.
Yeah.
This will be our
Yep. So
17th year.
Yes, and speaking of, when you mentioned that we all know someone who's dealt with cancer in some way, shape, or form, we do want to send condolences out to Terry Volts and the family and loved ones of Terry. We lost him last week after a battle with cancer, and they did a nice tribute over at the Jamestown Speedway, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yes, definitely an illness that a lot of us definitely know someone that's kind of been affected by that. So great shirt to kick things off there. Jessup, who or what are you repping?
I'm repping one of my oddball shirts. It's a Bridgeport Speedway shirt. It's a front, and on the back, it's got a bunch of drivers who are racing the big block modifieds. I think it's got a Matt Shepard and a few other guys, recognizable names. Must be a tribute shirt, as it says "Friends of Mike." I don't know who Mike is, but apparently the drivers on the back are his friends.
Good group of friends on the back of the shirt, and I've only seen Big Block mods once, I believe.
And
Down
that was with me and Becca.
yeah, they were fun. They go really fast. I know that.
Yep.
Excellent, cool shirt. Nice to go from the oddball portion of your shirt inventory, I guess.
We're running low on the oddball shirts. So if you have any oddball shirts that are bigger than a size medium, I would definitely wear it again before donating it out to charitable causes and those who are in need.
Well, what you need to do is the next time you go to one of the World of Outlaws races, you need to be like John and get like a whole stash of shirts in the clearance section.
See, I agree. I should probably get 30 shirts off of one rack.
I mean, it's the efficient way to do it. You have plenty of material to choose from now for the future episodes.
Okay,
Anyways,
I'm thinking this through. I'm joking, John. You only got like 4 from each rack.
it's true. That's very true.
insane. I'll go next. Repping, of course, the Street Stock Tour hat, which we just finished off the 2025 tour this weekend in North Dakota at Cheyenne and Jamestown. For the koozie, I actually wanted to show this last week but I couldn't find it. It's a new Cole Searing koozie. Took this
Hmm.
weekend off of racing, but one of the prominent late models in the Wissota ranks. Um, Races mainly down in the Huron, South Dakota area. You can find him racing a lot of the Challenge Series races, and it's going to be a big force to be reckoned with once year-end specials come around. And for the shirt, this is one of the tracks I visited this past week, Fiesta City Speedway down in Montevideo, Minnesota. There's the 2025 shirt, and got a lot of great friends down there, and a lot of them listen and watch the podcast. So thank all you guys down there, Juanita, Brittany, Jordan, for the support, and hopefully see you guys a couple more times before the season's out, whether it's at Fiesta City Speedway or at one of the year-end specials. And that leads us to Becca. What are you repping?
I was working on a project before we started this podcast, so I didn't. So I stole a shirt from Jessup. So this is Jessup's Bobby Pierce shirt that he picked up at the World of Outlaws up at the Nodex Speedway earlier this year. So very nice peach colored neon orientated t-shirt, and yeah.
Neon orientated shirt. What color would you consider that? Because there's been a debate on what color shirt that is.
Each.
It's peach.
So
It
this
looks
is not one of my shirts, but it just happened to be nearby, and I was like, oh, let's throw it on. So,
John, is peach a neon color?
but this is
But it's very peachy neon with the name.
Put it away. Because I love you.
I was like, oh boy, if I were some of the cautions that you've reached with this year, that would definitely top them there. Anyways, that'll do it for who or what we are repping, and we'll move
And
into
here is a caution for Mason. We're trying to call out the official. We're sorry, Mason. You don't do that. Technically, that's really just a black flag. Go to the pit.
Oh, right.
Thank you.
Moving on. Hot Sauce, Hot Memory Rewind, giving a shout out to Isaac Hot Sauce Sound on the 12S machine. Don't believe he raced much this weekend, if at all. I think he was kind of keeping busy because they had an addition to the family this past week. Uh-oh, here might be an official caution coming up.
Isaac raced last night at Nodak.
Well.
I forgot they added mods. Dang it.
Yes, he did.
Dang it.
Look at you, Becca, moving on up, even with your first.
Dang
Look
it.
at that, already making passes in the field.
new motor's working great.
Yes, it is. Already made up one spot where he only got through one segment, basically. Anyways, Isaac Sandro, 12S IMCA Modified, 104 IMCA Stock Car. Be sure to follow his racing page, 12S Racing, on Facebook to stay up to date on all his whereabouts towards the end of the season. And if you see him in the pits, stop on by, as they always have some great food and goodies to check on out. And so thank you, Isaac, for your support on the podcast. All right, Jessup, who do you got for Hot Sauce Hot Memory Rewind?
Well, we've got some fun photos here. I'm just trying to double check the ones I have to make sure that I don't make it too easy on you guys. Plus, I don't want to make it too hard. Go with that one. This one's too easy for John. We're gonna kick it back to a fun one here. Name the track.
Dakota Speedway.
And guess what, John? What is Dakota Speedway? Social.
I was like, huh?
You know what, John? You ruined a good joke.
I
There was a
caught on to
good-
that right away.
I tossed you a nice, easy one to throw up a softball so you could hit it out of the park with a nice funny, but no, people don't like my jokes. And I see how it is.
Dad
I
jokes.
also had another fascinating photo of Dakota Speedway here. I gotta find it. I don't have it out.
Mason, do you remember when the flag stand used to still be
Oh.
over there on that side of the track? Mhm.
Yes.
Somebody
I-
would always hit it at one point during the year.
So you're gonna have to look a little closer here. Look
That's
at the
Jeff Becker.
background. And look in the background.
Oh wow. There's no tall middle stands.
No,
No.
So that was the early 90s, from 1990 to 94.
it was
I
one of the
don't
early '90s ones. Yep, because of the fact that that the stands, the new ones, have been there for quite a few years now. But
Hmm.
the first
I
couple of
think
years,
that
it was the smallest grandstands.
I think the addition was built in like 95, between
It's been a
95 and
while.
2000. Yeah.
I just thought those were some fascinating photos for us.
Yeah,
Let's
if that flag stand was still where it used to be, that would definitely be the subject of social media ridicule.
Oh yes, especially nowadays.
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone who's got an opinion goes straight to social media and they just they can blow it out there. Moving on anyways to our first person. See if I can get it so John doesn't get a freebie. All right. First car.
That is Jim Hassauer.
That is correct. Very good, John. Kind of a, I thought that one might have been a little more challenging, but maybe not. Okay. Okay, let's
Not
go
a big
here.
fan of the number placement, but I bet Jessup loved that scheme.
Well, it had some dimension in it. It might you might not like that.
All right, next one.
That's Mad Mike Hagan.
John is 2 for 2.
Yep, I was gonna guess that too.
Okay. Let me see if I can find something a little more challenging for John. Don't want to make it too easy.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Nope. Nope. It's too easy still. Nope. Too easy.
Becca, we figured out while you've been away that if it's super stocks, it's a struggle for us.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we're like out.
All right, let's try this. Let's try this one. This should be probably easy, but we'll give it a shot.
Well, you had to show the
Move it over. Thank
I
you.
know, I know this one. This is Greg
Fran
Nikitchenko.
Martin.
That's what I was gonna say.
That is Greg Nikotenko. Very good, Mason. Okay.
Look at that. I
Okay.
said Fran Martin. You guys were right.
Okay. We'll give you guys a hard one
Nobody
here.
even got that, which is awesome.
I heard that. I just chose to ignore it.
How do
All
he's
right,
out,
John. I'm
but how do you
assuming
pronounce that
this.
town name? Lefor or Lefor? That's
All
where
right,
he's
Leaf
John.
for.
from, I
Have a
think.
chance. This is a challenge for you. You should be able to get it. This is a photo from Jamestown Speedway.
Zero five. That's from Jamestown?
Well, they rate the photos from Jamestown. You can tell by the grandstand in the back.
Oh yeah, you can see the grandstand. Okay. Because it's in the infield. They're pitting in the infield. Yep, I'm
I
following you.
would say this is probably from Stampede
It's Stampede related, yeah.
because this individual would not probably make the track over.
Jake
God,
Hartung?
who is it? Is it one of the dismiss?
Nope. It's a Minnesota native. The family has raced what appears to be mods, super stocks, and late models.
Is it one
What
of the
part of
vessels?
Minnesota?
Who? John?
What part of
Is it one of the vessels?
It's from that area. They had a big giant green toter.
Is it
Not a toter, but semi.
Willows?
This would be Jay Kentner. I might be wrong on the toter.
okay? I
They-
was gonna say they have a green late model, but I don't know if they had the green
I
toter.
thought
I don't
ours
remember
had
them ever the
yellow.
green toter.
It was either green or bright yellow. It wasn't a
Uh,
toter, it was a semi.
I think it was the bright yellow, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. Because when he would come to Jamestown, though, they didn't have the yellow one anymore. They had a white one at that time. It was a
Hmm.
big white. It was a big white one that they used to come with.
For some reason, So there
But
we
yeah,
have it.
Jay Kittner, and he's actually is Jay a Stampede champion? I think he
You
is. I'd
are
have to go
the
look.
expert. I'm going to give you an extremely hard one here.
That would be John Carell.
And that will be my tribute to this week's Hot Sauce Memory Rewind.
Okay, I got two. The first one will probably be guessed pretty darn quick.
That
I
is
don't
going
even
to
see
be,
it. Oh my.
that's one of the Langlands. It's Kyle.
That is correct.
I was gonna say
Kyle
it's either
Langland.
between Kyle or Taryn.
This is Kyle.
It has a K on it, so I'm assuming it's Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one,
That's Corey Taman.
good work.
And the driver that's inside of him is Mike Jans.
Yeah.
But who's the one with the red bumper, John?
Mm, I'm not sure on that one.
See, I was
We
looking.
stumped John.
We stumped John. We did it.
Right. I was
Good job,
looking for
guys.
Mike Jan's race cars. He hasn't changed his scheme much in his years of racing.
No, because he went from the scheme that you just saw there, and then he changed it into an all blue scheme, which has stayed that way for now the last probably good 10 to 12 years.
Yeah. Whether
That's
it's
a-
a Midwest Mod, Super, or Street Stock, it's the same one.
It's
So
been
it's
the same
all
scheme.
blue?
It's basically
It's
all
got-
blue with the orange.
Yeah, it's a really good variation.
It's almost too fancy for me.
It would
Oh
be
yeah,
too-
it would be way too fancy for you to say. Way too fancy.
That is a car.
I have three.
Is that Ron Sauer?
It is. And what class is it, Mason?
They look a little. Those mods look a little stubby like, so I'm gonna guess it's a mod 4.
Not 4.
It is a mod 4.
Ooh.
Good job, Mason. I'm proud of you.
Good photo,
And
John.
you guessed that really quick too.
It's because the number font. The number font is not changed for Ron.
See?
Oh, that's a pretty looking car.
Well, that
Trout, wells, and pumps.
It's 22.
What class is it?
It's a bomber.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Leanne's? No.
Oh, ooh, Jeremy
No.
Forrester.
Yes, as you can tell, I just kept zooming in a little bit farther.
Thank you for zooming in.
Yep, that was Jeremy's bomber back in the day. He was a pretty good bomber driver too. This one is going to be difficult. I don't know if anybody's going to get this
Let me lead with the first question. Have I ever seen this driver?
one. They're from Wisconsin.
Oh. Do they still race?
No, they haven't for a little bit.
I say that's because
I
that
will also give
79
you a
looks like-
hint. I will also give you a hint because Mason, I don't think you're gonna. I think you're gonna say something wrong here.
right.
This is a female.
Well, I was gonna say because I know it's not Billy Chris, but that 79 font looks very similar to Billy Chris font back years ago.
This driver, this lady driver, has won multiple events over at the Rice Lake Speedway. Has won multiple events over at the Cedar Lake Speedway in the street stocks.
Oh.
She had an all yellow car for many, many years.
I don't know.
That was not number 79.
Is it a Carlson? No.
She's got a little bit of a weird last name.
I know it got mentioned some point when I was
Is it
over in
Kayla Van
Wisconsin.
Eeps? Or
I'll give you the last hint. Her prominent number was number 5.
Is it the Van
Yeah.
Eep family? Or no.
I don't know, John. This
I have
one,
no
I
idea.
I don't remember much.
So her name, I'm probably going to butcher it here, so I'm going to apologize on this one because I haven't seen her race for a while. But it is Shonda Forgan Norg.
Nope, wasn't gonna get that one.
Nope.
never heard of her.
Okay, so she was a big street stock driver over in that area. She had won a lot of events. I mean, really good street stock driver. Let me see her, guys. Here I'm going to my favorite site, as you can tell. And within this site, we'll see if I can find one of her more recent photos.
I feel like her name got mentioned at some point during the little dream, but um, so I take it
Nope.
this was a Stampede photo.
That was probably a Stampede photo because she used to come to the Stampede for many, many years. See if they had streets that night. I need to get you guys out of my way.
Good hot sauce memory rewind, John.
You guys
Yeah.
are so welcome. I'm definitely here to please.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one definitely stumped all of us.
Well, we're playing the stumping game.
No, don't bring out the super stocks again, please.
I don't even know who the heck this is. Let's see if
There
John
she is.
where.
You have to stop sharing your screen, John.
I know, just give me a minute here because I was going to the Western Wanderer site.
See, like
He
Becca's
should
Becca's proficient in Google Drive. John is also very proficient in Zoom sharing. Oh, I've seen that car before.
Hmm.
I feel like J.R. Hughes should sponsor our podcast.
She has won a lot of big races.
Becca? I should get in touch with him to see if he'd sponsor the. Well, we already have a sponsor for the hot sauce segment, but that would be kind of a nice conjunction.
Yes.
No other photographer gets as many mentions as the Western Wanderer on our podcast.
There's only one thing that gets mentioned as many times as the Western Wanderer does, and that is our caution sponsor, which is Cunningham Insurance. You can
They
find
are
them
not our sponsor.
in
Did you know,
in two
guys?
locations, John.
Count them. Two. There is two locations. It is Bismarck and Underwood.
If anyone is watching or listening to our podcast, we actually do not have a caution flag sponsor. But as often as the caution flag does come out, if you would like to have your business or organization name dropped at least 100 times within an hour and a half podcast, you should contact someone on the Track Packers podcast to sponsor the yellow flag today.
Okay, Justin, what do you have?
All right, John. I'm gonna pick a hard one for you. Might not be hard. Here we go.
Is that a one, Jessup? Oh, that's Carrie's Kitchen.
I've
Yeah.
seen
That
this car
is,
before.
That's a Gartner car.
It's not a Gartner.
Isn't Gardner's car in the background of that though?
There is
Guess
a
I
Gartner
bring
it
car
back.
in the background.
Yep, the one in the background is a Gartner car.
Bring
Look
that.
at the number placement, Mason. On the
Where
Gartner
is the
car.
number? I can't even see where the number is at.
Well, the
It's
number on the
the
Gartner
rear
car is in the
tank.
back. Because do you see that one in the back? That's a John.
Gartner.
I can see that one. The one on
What's
the
the
closest one looks
number
like
of the car,
It's
Jessa?
behind the guy. It's on the.
Is it
panel.
written on the? Is it written on the car?
Yeah,
No.
it's 2D.
Is
it looks like
Where's it
a
written?
rectangle to me.
Oh,
the
it's
last
hidden-
name is
it's on the
Day.
panel.
David Day.
Oh,
David Day.
Did I get it right?
No,
Hmm.
it is.
Larry Leco.
Larry Leclerc. I don't think I know who that is.
I've seen that car before.
Well, I
Okay,
just
you
want
photos
just
you
showed
to
me the
know.
picture of it.
I just want you to know.
Hmm.
We stumped the Western Wanderer.
That's J.R. Hughes, not John Breckle. I am John Breckle, LLC.
I'm John Breckle announcing. LLC.
alrighty. Well, that ends a fun hot sauce hot memory rewind segment, and we'll move into the track pack report. I got 4 nights of racing in, the first of which kicked off at Cheyenne Speedway for the start of championship weekend for the Street Stock Tour. All the regular divisions were taking place, and it kicked off with the Gen X late models this time around, as my cat is scratching the heck or licking heck out of the couch. Stop it.
She's mad.
Apparently.
Apparently, you don't spend enough time with her, Mason.
Well,
That is
she's
what
just
she's
teed
telling
off.
you.
Yep.
Yes, I don't spend enough time with her now that I have a fully at home job that she sees me at all hours of the morning and afternoon.
Mason, how many days in the last 3 weeks have you spent fully at home or slept in your own bed without getting before?
Yeah,
When did I
Mason.
Oh gosh, I don't even remember my schedule from 2 weeks ago. It was all
You
kids.
weren't in. You had the 6 nights of racing.
So I got back from Wilmer on the 31st of July, and I've been in my bed every night since then. So that's at least 10, 11 days.
She misses you because you're never home.
Mm.
Thank you, Becca.
I've been home all day, and then I even fell asleep at like 6:30 this evening, and she slept right on my chest. Anyways, back to results from Thursday down at the Cheyenne Speedway. Gen X Late Models kicked things off with a first-time visitor, Bodie Croninger in the 811, going 1-for-1 on wins at the Cheyenne Speedway. So congratulations to Bodie, and a nice little welcome to the Cheyenne Speedway for him. In your NX Legends, this was definitely the race of the night because they were 2 and 3 wide. There was multiple lead changes between Sean Johnson, Cody Macart, Ty Olson, and Regan Reinke. And in the end, it was Regan Reinke holding off Cody Macart in a photo finish, and Regan scored his first win in his home track, Cheyenne Speedway. I believe that's his third win on the season. So congratulations to the 22 of Regan Reinke. Up after this was your Dirt Race Central Street Stock Tour. Had a nice field of cars there, 18 on hand Thursday night. And it was one of the hometown heroes, Hunter Carter, making a pass on Levi Rant midway through the race and then holding off a hard-charging Kyle Dykhoff to get his first tour win of the season, his first since a few years ago at Viking Speedway. Justin Vogel came across in third, so definitely some heavy hitters at the front of the field in that race. Midwest Modifieds. Well, Zach Greinke didn't want to get showed up by his son because Zach started on the pole while Regan also started on the pole, so a lot of pressure on Zach going into it, and he could get the feature win in front of Kyle Anderson and Ryan Ost. Hobby Stocks and Bombers, we had a very tough wreck in the heat race. Riker Vetter and Brent Wilkinson collided at the end of their heat race, and so we only had 5 Hobby Stocks on Thursday, so only 3 took the green flag. And with a 3-car race, very, very spirited battle between Billy Carroll and Dalton Obrecki, with Billy Carroll coming out on top in that race event. And then in your short trackers, it was Mason Bogart claiming another feature win on the season. So those were your results from Thursday at Cheyenne Speedway. Now, Friday plans got changed a little bit because we were supposed to be in Jamestown. Myself, John, Becca, were you planning on coming over Friday or Saturday potentially?
3 weeks ago, I was planning on coming over on Saturday, but plans changed, and so I stayed home.
Gotcha, because I know you had some extended family kind of making a visit, so that kind of
Yep. Family
changes.
comes first. So.
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, so unfortunately, weather kind of wreaked havoc particularly across the state of North Dakota, because I don't believe any track in North Dakota raced on Friday.
No.
I know there was a massive derecho that came through Friday or late Thursday night into Friday morning, and that basically cleaned everything out for the day. So, wiped out a bunch of racing options. I did manage to go 2-1 race down at Fiesta City this past Friday. That was not without any weather shenanigans, as we had weather in the area, and weather actually fell during one of the feature races. It was supposed to be their Meet the Drivers night. With the weather impending, they were going to try to do it at the end of the night, but because of the rain delay and they had a bad wreck in the pure stocks, unfortunately, they were going to postpone that to a different night. So, results from Friday at Fiesta City Speedway. In the pure stocks, it was young Colson Schultz in the 511 taking the feature win. He's in a very tight points battle with the 7A of Landon Albertson, so he gets another feature win on the season. Midwest Modifieds, it was the 73 of Onyx Johnson going through the field and getting another feature win down in Montevideo. Street Stocks coming off his first career feature win in the Street Stocks just a few weeks back. Josh Long held off the hard chargers of Dustin Schultz and Justin Vogel to get the feature win there. Super Stocks was a really good race between Carter Rentz and Travis Scott. They were side by side for the last 6-7 laps, with the 71X of Travis Scott coming out on top. Late models went to the 73 of Zach Johnson, so another father-son combination winning on the weekend, with Zach winning from third place in front of Jordan Tolkson and Matt Gilbertson. And in your Hornet division, it was Adam Vanderstein getting the feature win from 7th in front of Travis Bruns and Jarek Stabler, who is in a brand new car after destroying his car the previous week. And that was your results from Friday over at the Fiesta City Speedway. So then that moves on to Saturday. Now we're in the midst of championship weekend for the Dirt Race Central Street Stock Tour. Jamestown also had the WISSOTA late models in attendance, so it was going to be a big show coming on in. I will start with Becca / Jessup, because I know Becca was tuning in a little bit. What were your takeaways from afar, Becca?
Jessup, would you like to say it?
There were a lot of cars.
He got his line a lot. The field was quite large.
Large. Or as Becca would say, it would be a
Good.
good night of racing.
That could not have been more perfectly timed.
That was so great.
I don't even know what the heck happened. I did it again. Why is it doing that?
You were too
Justin's
aggressive
car
with
died.
the good.
With the good.
Good.
That was the
As a-
perfect, well-timed. Yes, that was the perfect time. Mhm.
You scared Gordy. He was
I'm sorry,
He's
napping.
having flashbacks of,
I'm
like-
only getting beat up.
Come here, buddy.
oh gosh, I thought we were over that.
Oh,
Gordy.
you woke up our sleeping dog.
Oh,
Oh, you closed the door on him. How is he supposed to come hang out?
He's hanging with me.
Fine.
all right. Besides a lot of cars, any other takeaways that you two had?
I was rather impressed that Jamestown Speedway really just kept the show moving. There wasn't a lot of downtime. Even the intermission for the redraw, it was very quick and very brief because they still had a lot of racing left in the night. So, hats off to the Jamestown Speedway. 184 cars, and they got it done in 5 hours. It's still a long show, but that's a really quick show considering it was like a mini stampede. So, yeah, hats off to the Jamestown Speedway. I thought they got it done in a relatively quick time.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Anything other from unless you anything else from you, Jessup?
No, I didn't get to watch much outside of what Becca recapped because Becca was watching it and wouldn't share the screen with me.
You mean you don't watch TV and racing together?
We did, and then I passed out on the floor.
Oh, this makes more sense now. Jessup was sleeping.
He stayed up long enough to watch the late models, and then he pieced out.
Yep.
Well, there you
What?
go. You still got some good racing in then.
I thought it was good. Track looked good, and they had multiple lanes to work with, and
He
had
did
a
fall
good
asleep
field of
briefly.
cars. It was
He
fun
did fall
seeing the.
asleep briefly during the late model feature.
I did not.
I had to
My
wake
eyes
him
were
up.
closed.
Yeah.
I could hear everything going on, and then I was about to open them, and then you're like, "Are you sleeping?"
And you're like, no.
Mason,
Ow.
John,
Meow, meow, meow.
when Jessup is laying on the floor, how quick does it take him to fall asleep?
She's not wrong.
I was gonna say you can't defend this.
I mean, and how
Hold
long
on.
does it take
You know
Jessup
what?
to
You
fall
just
asleep when
hold
we
your
get in
line,
the car?
Becca. Hold your
When we're
line.
starting to go home from a racetrack, and
Oh,
it's just sleeping.
How many times has Jessup been like, Mason, come on over, we'll watch this sort of race, or John, come over, we'll watch this big race, and then
the moment the
you guys
race is
come
over,
over.
I'm going to bed. I don't lie.
No,
Let's
you
watch
lay on
the
the
race.
floor. You like to lay on the floor and watch the race, and then you just happen to fall asleep.
He just happens to fall asleep.
I mean, he's like a good doormat though when you walk by.
I don't understand why I'm getting picked on here.
Remember the one time he wanted to stay up and podcast with us, but fell asleep in bed, and then he snored?
Yes, yes, I remember this.
Insert clip here.
You guys, are we this boring that Jessup fell asleep?
Good times. Good times.
We
So
love you.
hold
Mason-
on. You know what? Because Becca's saying this. Here's the
We
caution,
love you.
Becca. We were not
What?
podcasting. We were still recording, and it was after the podcast. So Becca, go to the tail of the fields.
You should always be on your game when you're podcasting or even while on record because you never know how
You know
the
what?
recording will be used
Right,
against
yeah.
you.
True, Becca, because you never know what might get inserted into an actual episode.
This is so true.
Or be the intro for an upcoming episode.
This is also true.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Very much so. That goes for all of us, by the way.
You know what? While we're at it, Indianapolis
Love
is still
you.
in Illinois.
It's still in Illinois.
Is.
Yep.
It is.
We
Hasn't
are in
moved.
Indianapolis,
Illinois.
Illinois.
Hasn't moved. It's still there.
That's the day when my hair started falling out.
And now, Jessup, you look like you don't have a whole lot left on top anymore.
There's not a whole lot left on top anymore between my students, Becca, my family, and Riley now. Everyone wants a piece of my hair.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
I feel like I make your life easier.
As you can see, there's a lot of shine right about here. Now it's transitioning to over here.
This is true.
I'll say it's soon you and John are going to be competing against each other for the bigger shine.
You know what,
We'll
Mason?
just,
Just for that bad joke, not funny. Go to the pit.
It's the point of the podcast where Jessup is fishing for cautions. No,
You know
He's
what?
on the
Actually,
front row.
now because we're like that, that was your second one. I'll allow you to stay on the track, but we are going black, yellow here.
I didn't know Jessup was our flagman.
This
Makes
is
I
sense.
didn't either.
fitting because we're talking about Jamestown Speedway. John, what is a quick takeaway you had from Saturday?
Quick, John.
So quick. Okay, so I'll try to keep this between 50 minutes. There were a lot of cars. There were a lot of travelers that we have not seen in Jamestown for a while. That was very nice to see. The heats were very efficiently run through. The track was completely dug up during intermission and redone, and the feature races were very good. A lot of multi side-by-side battles for the lead, battles throughout the field, a lot of 4 wide battles, 3 wide battles. And track was racy all night. That's kind of what my takeaways are. It was just a good night overall.
I would agree. Very racy track all night, heats and concees and features, multiple grooves, and definitely no shortage of action. And for a lot of cars, like Becca had mentioned, very nicely run show. I would definitely agree with that. That was my main takeaway from the night. So why don't we get into some results starting in the slingshot division? I wasn't fully paying attention. I was recording, but I was kind of like focused on other things. So I know there's a lot of action though, John.
Yeah, there was a lot of action in the slingshots. 12 slingshots checked in. We had some new people in the slingshot division over there too. It was nice to see the Keller sisters were both over there on Saturday night. So Jeremy's daughters were both there. They finished third and fourth, and Caden Davenport was your future winner. He also now has taken the points lead because Easton Olson had problems and did not finish that race on Saturday.
Yep. So good race in the slingshots. Landon Hallgren was making a run at the end and just ran out of time to try to track down 29 to Caden Davenport. Then we move on into your bombers and hobby stocks. 26 of them. Very solid field of bombers after the track was just farmed up, and pretty good race. We had Kelly Horner having the early lead for a lot of that race until I think there was a restart or two where kind of got shuffled back a little bit. Joe Jacobson, who's been on a tear, I believe, came in with 2 wins in a row, and now
Yep, and this was his third. Yep.
and now made the pass halfway through the race and held on to get the feature win for his 3rd win in a row. And Kelly Horner hung on to second in front of Clay Genskow. And that was a very heavyweight battle from second on back because Joe Jacobson was kind of checked out in the field at the very end.
And then Mason, after the bomber feature, we went into the Midwest Mods, and Midwest Mods had 33. That was probably the biggest surprise I think I had on Saturday night was 33 cars in the Midwest Mods. Great field and a lot of heavy hitters in that feature event too. But in the first 16 laps were clean and green. They went clean and green for the first 16, and Brennan Wade had stretched it out by over 4 seconds. And the battle for second was raging between the likes of Kyle Langland and Josh Apple, who was coming up to run the Sport Mod race for the $4,000 to win up in Minot. And there was a caution that came out on the restart. Kyle Langland was using the bottom. They were side by side with 2 to go. Langland made the pass on the white flag and held on to his first win in Jamestown since 2018. And Brennan White was second. And then they were 3 and 4 wide, Mason, back there for third on back, from third to about seventh. So really good battle behind them in that mix with, I believe Kyle Anderson ended up third on the night in the 59 machine.
Yep, with Jason Grimes in 4th from 13th, and Landon Rant was 5th from 11th. So definitely some passing going on as well. And the kind of a cool thing, well, we'll probably mention this later on in the show about Kyle Langland's win a little bit. But yeah, really good race in the Midwest Modifieds. Then after that, because they did the order of events a little bit differently, they ran late models right after the Midwest Mods. Kind of a nice little change of pace, kind of putting them a little earlier in the program, of course, because there's a lot of travelers with the late models because they're not a local class. But very solid field of late models. I believe, was it 27 or 28 late models?
28.
So they started them all. Pretty good race, and not a whole lot of carnage, really, and very racy track. As of course, when you have a heavy hitters such as like Dustin Strand and Tyler Peterson starting in the front 2 rows, it's like, okay, well, they'll get to the front pretty quickly. And Dustin was the first to the front after an early spin by Jaden Christ, and Tyler Peterson was kind of keeping up with them. They had a caution about 2/3 of the way through, about halfway. And then you had the 15-star Ryan Michelson, who's been on a tear since he got his car put back together after a rollover earlier this season. And he passed both Tyler Peterson and Dustin Strand, and he went on to get the feature win. So Ryan, also previous winner of the Stock Car Stampede, knows Jamestown Speedway well, one of his old home tracks, and he now lives in Alexandria. But he was kind of surprised, it looked like, in Victory Lane, getting that feature win in front of those heavy hitters.
Yeah, I mean, you had drivers there like Chad Becker was in the field. Chase Kelly was in the field. The guy that's won the most Stock Car Stampede, Mitch Johnson, was in the field. And Zach Johnson was in the field and finished 4th on Saturday night. So, yes, really good field of late models. Really happy with the show overall. And Zach was 4th and Cole Show was 5th.
Yep, so very, very good quality field in the late models. Excellent to see here on that one-off show at Jamestown. Then it moved on into the Dirt Race Central Street Stock Tour finale with 31 street stocks coming through the pit gates, and we started 24. And as we kind of laughed about a little bit, Kyle Dykoff, points leader and basically had the championship locked up going into this night, drew the pole. So I'm like, oh, well, this might be almost a snooze fest with Kyle starting up front, but it was not. I mean, I was very impressed with the racing. 2 and 3 wide for the lead, multiple points in the pack, and it was Cole Gresseth, who's been the dominant guy at Jamestown, the current points leader there, using the very, very bottom, like right next to the wall, starting from 5th, made the pass on Kyle Dykoff, and they kind of exchanged the lead like 2 or 3 times during the race. Like, it was not one where like one was really getting away. It was kind of like a seesaw struggle. And then they had a caution with about 4 laps to go, and Levi Rant put his nose in there, literally, between Dykoff and Gresseth, and made it 3 wide for about a lap there. And boy, it was a heavyweight run to the finish with Kyle Dykoff getting the lead back with just about a lap to go and getting a nice capper off to the 2025 Tour season with Cole Gresseth in second, Hunter Carter in third. So, and shout out to Justin Vogel, had to come through a consi, 22nd to 5th. So And that he wasn't the only mover and shaker. Billy Crist, who had won the Conti 21st to 8th, Scott Binns, first night out
First
in this
night.
street stock, 19th to 9th. I mean, very, very good racing.
Yeah, I agree, Mason. I mean, and they had two cautions in that feature event. So it was pretty clean and green and a lot of side-by-side battles. And there was multiple times, I know you'll catch it on your video when you posted too, that you were back deeper in the field because they were going four wide multiple times in the battle back there, right between maybe about, 8th through about 15th. And it was battling pretty hard.
Yep, and after that was the IMCA Modifieds taken to the track. And again, another great field of IMCA Modifieds, 25 of them taking the green flag. And John, this was a fun race for you to call up front.
It was a really fun race because it was Chris Tusher that started towards the front of that race, and he grabbed the lead and he kind of stretched it out just a little bit. And I know Becca, you were watching the mods too, and then you had the drivers like Travis Tooley, past Gumpke Memorial champion and Stock Car Stampede champion, that was tracking him down. But then you had two heavy hitters that had been going at it for feature wins in Mandan, and that's Jeremy Keller and John Carell, that were using completely different lines on the racetrack to where Keller was kind of more in the middle, back up to the top, back to the bottom. And Johnny C was using his patented Johnny C line at Jamestown. It's kind of like the Donovan Weiss line in Mandan. And he was next to the wall on the bottom, and Johnny was making that work. And Jeremy got the lead through lap traffic, and then Johnny C got the lead, and they were slicing and dicing in some very heavy lap traffic because at one point I know Mason in front of them they were four wide, multiple laps in front of your leader Johnny C, and he made it five wide on the back straightaway, getting into 3 and 4 to try to get around that battle.
Yeah. So John C getting the feature win, Jeremy Keller in second. Both of them started in row 6. Chris Tukes
Yep.
in third, Travis Tooley in fourth, and then Andy Cap, strong run, 10th to 5th. How about Daryl Parsons, 22nd to 7th?
Daryl hasn't been there in, I want to say it's been about 3 years in Jamestown. He actually got involved in a wreck in the heat race, not of his making, and went to the pits, started deep in the field in 22nd, and got up to 7th. He passed 15 cars in that feature event and looked really good.
And
And I
again,
think
not
Mason,
a,
the mods, did they only have one caution?
I was just gonna say they didn't have like hardly any cautions. I think it was just one towards the beginning. So another great, great race there. And then your NX Legends finished off the program with a very, very fun feature race. John, I know this one kind of is meaningful to you. So what all happened in the Legends?
Yeah, there was 29 cars in the Legends here on Saturday night, and they started them all. And it was a big feature event. I think they only ended up with 4 cautions too. It wasn't a really big caution slash wreck fest feature by any means. But no, it was a battle up front because Ty Olson started up towards the front of the feature. Austin Weiss started in fifth. Preston Martin started a little bit deeper. You had the Mather brothers in there too. And it was more Ty Olson that was kind of holding the lead for multiple laps in that feature event. And Preston Martin was making more of the middle group work. So the middle group was definitely there in the Legends, both for the heat races and also there for the features. And Preston was kind of making it work and eventually got the lead. And at that point, it was also the Noah Madler machine as well as Donovan Weist were up there, and Austin Weist went from the bottom up to the middle lane and got into second. And those two drivers kind of stretched it out a little bit over the 3 and 4 wide racing, Mason, that was happening for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And Austin tracked down Preston. Preston was ahead by about probably a second. Austin tracked him back down. They got into lap traffic. Preston went high. Austin went lower on the lap car and slid in front of Preston and was ahead at the stripe with 2 to go. Preston did a crossover move into 1 and 2, and a caution came out right on the front straightaway when they were just coming out of turn 4 for the white flag. They reverted back to the last completed lap. Austin was ahead of the line. They restarted back up. Preston tried everything to get around Austin, and Austin picked up his first ever Jamestown win. And Preston got second in that race. Donovan Weist was third in that race. Gage Madler, I believe, was in fourth in that race. And Ryan Erdahl, who started deep in that feature event, was fifth.
Yep. So another race with a lot of moving and shaking and another great, great battle to the end. So capped off a really fun night in Jamestown, finished just after midnight. So pretty dang good for 184 cars on the track. And they didn't touch the track after intermission. That was pretty impressive too.
No, the track stayed really racy. I mean, they were running all over it.
So then Sunday action, I'll go through my stuff pretty quick to finish out the track packer report, as well as John, who got to attend some racing up at the Nodex Speedway. It was Meet the Drivers Night and Kids Night at Casino Speedway, their first race in probably like 3 or 4 weeks. So very happy for the folks at Casino Speedway and did not see a tornado.
I was gonna say, Mason did not bring the tornado with him this time.
It was clear through the smoke. It was a perfect day. So well deserved for the folks down at Casino Speedway. Street Stocks went clean and green for their feature with Maria Brooksick, who had blown a motor on Friday. She picked up the feature win from the pole position. In the Midwest Modifieds, it was Ryan Fun who started on the pole, but had to hold off a very heavy challenge from Tommy Nichols, Dawson Zabel, and Scott Toffey throughout the entirety of that race. He got his first win at the Casino Speedway. He's been looking for that for quite some time, so congratulations to Ryan Flotton. In the Gen X late models, it was Trevor Walsh holding off Jeff Nelson to get the feature win on Sunday night. With Soda Modifieds, very, very fun battle to the end between Mike Stearns and Adam Brotherton. Adam, who is in a rookie season in the Wasota Modified division, held off several advances from Mike Stearns to get his first Watertown feature win in that modified division. So congratulations to the 14 machine. In the Wasota late models, it was the hot shoe, Chad Becker, getting the feature win in front of Tyler Peterson and Jason Good. So a great race there.
I will throw a caution on myself in this situation because when I was going through the starting lineup on Saturday night in Jamestown, Chad was in Jamestown, Chad Becker was in Jamestown, and I referred to him as the dark horse as Travis Hagen. Completely wrong nickname and did not catch it until after it had flew right out of my mouth.
John, you were a little rusty on Saturday. There was quite a few things I would be like, I would throw a caution on him, but he's busy talking, and that's okay. Well,
It's kind of one of those.
there's quite a few things. I'm just like, what?
It's just
That
one
was
of
not
those,
the
like,
only one of those, but
we're just gonna move on and hope no one noticed.
I kind of looked at it, I'm like, oh crap. And I just kept going.
Yep.
I also enjoyed when he interviewed a pole in Victory Lane because
That was awesome.
Hey,
he pulled a
that
Becca.
poll did a lot
I'm
of talking.
notorious for doing that. Yeah.
The poll did do a lot of talking. Yes. But anyways, Chad Becker was your winner in the Wasota late models. And in your Wasota Hornets, it was Jeff Roner, who had not a great heat race. So he started 12th on the field and got all the way to the front of the pack by the end of it in front of Adam Batterstein and Travis Bruns. And so that was the night down in Watertown to finish out the weekend there. John, what happened at the Nodex Speedway?
Yeah, so Nodak Speedway had the $4,000 to win special for the IMCA Sport Mods. And in the words of Jessup, they had a lot of cars. So they had 5 classes of cars on Sunday night, and they had 122 cars show up. So really good field. In your Sport Compact division, there was 12 Sport Compacts. It was Zach Eubanks who picked up the win over Brooklyn Tomlinson in that feature event. So really good run to Brooklyn as well as Zach on another feature win in the Sport Compact division. In your junior slingshots, though, that was kind of a fun race because you had the Turnbulls there. You also had Landon Hallgren there. You had Gunnar Rayner there. So you had a lot of the front runners in your slingshots that have been, getting their feet wet and getting more comfortable in the cars. But your feature winner in that race was Eli Turnbull. So Eli won that feature event in the 21 machine. Then let's move on to your modifieds. Let's talk about your modifieds next. Your modifieds had 21 cars. They were picked up late. They were a late division to be added because of all the rainouts across the state. Because before this one, Cheyenne ran in Lisbon on Thursday, and then Jamestown ran Saturday. Those were the only 2 tracks running in North Dakota up to this point on Sunday because of the fact of the matter of rainouts. So in your mods, though, they had a pretty healthy field of mods, some pretty good mod drivers. They were probably testing the waters before they have the $4,000 to win show for the mods this Sunday up in Minot. And it was the dark horse Travis Hagen who picked up the win in your IMCA modifieds. Really good battle for second. Cody Schlope was right there, as well as Stephen Pfeiffer and Aaron Turnbull. They really put on a good show for that battle for second, third, and fourth. In your Legends feature event, you had 28 entries in Legends, really good card count in Legends, and it was the Mather brothers that were kind of going at it with Preston Martin, Austin Weiss, same drivers that we had seen over in Jamestown on Saturday go at it. Preston Martin got the lead, Noah Mather was going for the lead. Preston spun out by himself in turn 2, went to the back, got back up to 4th. With about 5 laps to go, Noah was leading. Austin Weiss was in second. Austin hit the same point that Preston hit in turn 2 and spun out all by his lonesome too. So something you don't usually see a whole lot of between those two drivers. Austin went to the back. I think he got back up to around 10th for the finishing order. But it was Noah and Gage Mather that were putting on a show, and Noah picked up the win over at the Nodak Speedway on Minot. This is the final time Legends are there until Nationals in October. Then it was on to your sport mods. They had 48 total sport mod drivers. Really good field. Some heavy hitters from Iowa that showed up as well. Josh Apple was there. Cole Suckow was there as well. And then we also had your heavy hitters that are known to be over at Nodak. Chad Strachan, as well as Gabe Deshaw. You also had Keaton Glauser up there. Keaton looked really good over there on Sunday. Looked like a brand new car for him too. Completely brand new paint scheme and everything. So really cool to see for Keenan. Keenan ran up front a lot of that race with Chad Strachan. They were kind of going back and forth for the lead for quite a bit. Gabe Deshaw was working his way up from 7th. It was a 40-lap A main event. You'll look at the results and you'll see that like 11 drivers actually finished that race. There was attrition, but it wasn't truly wreck attrition. It was more people pulled off that they were falling back through the field. They ran the first 20 laps green. So nothing really bad for the first 20 laps by any means. So flat tires were a couple of people, and then under cautions, sometimes people would just pull off if they weren't going forward or kind of in that in that 8th to 15th range, somewhere in that range. But in the end, it was Gabe Deshaw who won a very spirited battle, clean race with Chad Strachan and picked up the $4,000 win. Gabe has been on a tear, but so has Chad. Chad's been really good here as of about the last month and a half. And they put on a great race up front. You also had other drivers there that were doing really well. Josh Apple went from 17th to 3rd, so good for him, the Iowa driver. Cole Suckow, who actually went to the back, went to the pits, came back out, finished 4th. Jaden Pavlicek was in 5th, so really good run over there. And then Rich Pavlicek was running Jaden's second car. So Rich will probably be in that car through the rest of the season now for kind of the year-end specials. But that concluded the night with Gabe Deshaw and Victory Lane.
Excellent. Yeah, another great field of cars for their 4,000 wins show up there. I'm excited to see what they'll get for mods this upcoming for their All-Stars of August series that they're doing these 4 weeks in August. And so that'll do it for the Track Packer Report for this week. And so we'll move on to what's upcoming next with Mr. Dakota Dirt.
Did you know, race fans, you can check out schedules, results, and much more on Dakota Dirt. It is your one-stop shop if you want to check out North Dakota racing stuff. So again, check out dakotadirt.org. They are social as well.
Why, thank you, John. We got a pretty nice little week here as we continue to wind down the season. Cheyenne Speedway is racing on Thursday. Wissota Streets, Wissota Mid Mods, Gen X Late Models, NX Legends, Hobby Stocks, and Short Trackers. Then Friday, you have River Cities with the Wayne Anderson Cup finale and school bus races. NOSA Sprints, Wissota Mid Mods, Wissota Streets, NX Legends, and school buses. Then at Dakota Speedway is the Drive to Survive night. IMCA Mods, IMCA Stocks, NX Legends, Hobby Stocks, and Slingshots. And then it is night number 1 of the Howie Schill Memorial over at the Red River Valley Speedway. And they will be having IMCA Race Savers. It says the meet and greet on the schedule. It doesn't make sense, but what?
Yep.
Sure, why not?
Yep.
Wissota Late Models, the 305 Race Saver Sprints, IMCA Modifieds, and IMCA Hobby Stocks for the night. Moving on to Saturday, it's night number 2 of the 5th annual Howie Schill Memorial, as that is going to be at the Red River Valley Speedway as well. Wissota Late Models, 305 Sprints, IMCA Stock Cars, and IMCA Sport Mods. Right? It should be a really good night of racing over there. Then Thunder Mountain will be racing. They have IMCA Sport Mods, IMCA Hobby Stocks, IMCA Sport Compacts, their Enduro class, and Slingshots. Devil's Lake will be in action. They have what looks to be about 3 classes of Cook Racing: Wissota Midwest Mods, Wissota Streets, and their Pure Stock division. And racing kicks off at 7 p.m. Jamestown will be in action with the 7th annual Carpenter Memorial and Back to School Night with IMCA Mods, Wissota Streets, Wissota Mid Mods, NX Legends, Hobby Stocks, and Slingshots. John, do you have any information else on that race?
I do. The high heel race will be happening as well. The NX Legends have their national qualifier event on the 16th, so that is a qualifier for nationals. And then also the purse for the Midwest Modifieds, I got an update on that today. The purse right now is sitting a little bit over $13,000. That's what's been raised for the purse. First place in that race is $2,337 to win. Second is $1,037, and to start, it's $237 currently. They are still receiving donations and other stuff. So the Carpenter family puts a lot of work into that. Tony Smith and Courtney Smith, you have to give them a ton of credit. They do a lot of work on this. They do a lot of obtaining the sponsors, getting the purse up there, doing a lot of special things. So Tony has to get a lot of credit for all the work he puts in there, as well as Randy Klein. Randy does a lot of it as well because they were all really close friends with Jeff before his unexpected passing here back in 2019. So, but yes, it'll be over $2,300 to win for the Midwest Mods.
Sounds like a great night of racing over there, John. The final race for Saturday, I'm reading this right, it's going to be the Southwest Speedway, and it says championship night. They may be adding more, they may not be adding more. I'm not sure at this point due to their shortened season, but they have IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, IMCA Sport Mods, IMCA Hobby Stocks, Slingshots, NX Legends, and I believe it is also is it the Richard Jordan? Or is that coming up?
That is this week. Yep, the Richard Jordan is on Saturday. And that's 1,065 to win, I think, for the stock cars currently.
Good to know. And closing the weekend out is going to be the Nodak Speedway with the Monty Lundy Memorial, 4,000 to win, IMCA Modified / Fast Shaft All-Star Qualifier for the IMCA Modifieds. Also in attendance will be the IMCA Hobby Stocks, the IMCA Sport Compacts, and the Slingshots. And like we've been saying the last couple weeks, season's winding down, and get out, support all those tracks, drivers, and sponsors. So that's what we got for this week.
A lot of good racing taking place across the state of North Dakota. And outside of the state of North Dakota, we also got some big races coming up. I believe we have a double header taking place over at Grand Rapids Speedway. Wednesday, I think, is the Pure Stock Special. And then Thursday, it's the KME Late Models Point Fun Night. Also on the Thursday the 14th, KRA Speedway is back after a week off. Norman County has a Legends Special, and then Victory Lane Speedway is also running. Friday the 15th, we have the Bob Gerke Memorial taking place over at I-94 Speedway. Elevated payout for both the Modifieds and Midwest Modifieds, so that's always a popular event over there. Fiesta City Speedway is also racing on Friday, along with the Miller Central Speedway hosting the Tri-State Late Models Series. And the World of Outlaws are at the Ogilvy Raceway this Friday. And Red Cedar has their season championship taking place on Friday as well. Moving on to Saturday, Casino Speedway is doing Clash at Casino. They have the Tri-State Late Model Series, so it's a different night that they typically race. So Saturday the 16th, and they also have a Hornet Special to go along with it. Last I heard at the track yesterday, 1,100 to win currently for the Hornets. And I think they were doing registrations for them. I think 35 had registered already. So,
wow,
that's going to be an interesting show to watch.
That will be a lot of fun to watch. That's a great field.
And I've heard rumors on how many they're starting for that race, and you might want to tune in. You might want to tune in for that race if the rumor I'm
Three
hearing.
wide too.
Yeah,
I
that'll be
say we start them 4 wide.
Oh, that'd be better. They're small enough they can fit there.
if that tune into that race. Just for if you don't want to watch any other race, watch the Hornets at Casino. That'll be surely an interesting race to watch. NOSA sprint cars are up at Greenbush on Saturday the 15th as well. And North Central Speedway, Princeton Speedway is racing on Saturday. And with Ogilvy Racing, will roll out on Friday. Princeton's racing on a Saturday to change things up. Hall of Fame night at Rice Lake Speedway as well. And then Sunday the 17th, we have Bemidji Speedway with their Hall of Fame night. We also have Buffalo River Speedway racing along with the Granite City Motor Park and the Redwood Speedway. So, quite a few big races taking place this weekend as we hit the
And
midpoint of August.
and Mason, I want to mention one more too because the Western Roundup, I know with posting on that one too, you and Jessica do that great job with that as well. But this weekend, just for late model drivers to get it on their schedule too, there's some big late model shows happening with the Howie Show Memorial, right? Great show over at the Red River Valley Speedway. Tri-State late models are down at Casino, but over in Montana is the Hampel Memorial Race for the Kelly Hampel, who passed away here unexpectedly just recently too. This will be the second annual, but this year they're doing it as a tour. Last year it was a double header over at Big Sky. This year it's a 3-night tour. They were doing it over at Electric City on Thursday the 14th. It is $2,000 to win for the late models that night. Gallatin will have it on Friday, and it's going to be $2,500 to win that night. And then Big Sky, it'll end over at Billings on Saturday, and it'll be $3,636 to win, $236 to start for the late models. So if you guys want 3 shows in a row for the Wissota late models as well, you can also check them out over there in Montana. Kelly was known a lot in the racing community, so a great show over there for the late models in Montana. Great show over there to honor Howie Schill over in Fargo as well. So hopefully those 2 events as well as the Tri-State get pretty good car counts this weekend because late model car counts have been pretty healthy and that's awesome to see because now it's just there's more to go around.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a nice weekend for late models out west. So thank you for bringing that up, John. So I do it for the upcoming schedule. We will now display the white flag and give a shout out to our good friend Brody Carlsrud in the B1 IMCA stock car. Did get one race in on the weekend over at Norman County Raceway. Had a top 6 run. Look sure he's looking for a little bit better, but he's been on a hot streak as of late with a couple of big feature wins. So stay tuned with the B1 IMCA stock car. You can check out his Facebook page, Brody Carlsrud B1 Racing, and his podcast, The Real Deal with B1. So thank you, Brody, for your support on the podcast as well. Alrighty, on to wins of the week. John, since you're on the poll, you get to go first.
Okay, so my first win of the week. I am going to give the win over to Gabe Deshaw for the $4,000 payday at the Noack Speedway because that was pretty cool to see him work his way from 7th, take his time, get to the lead, and win that race. I am going to take one from Jessup now for my second win of the week. My second win of the week is going to the youngster, Ryan Timms, for taking home the Knoxville Nationals and leading every single lap in that feature event. And he just didn't win. He kind of dominated that feature. He was ahead by quite a bit throughout that race. So congratulations to him. Won his qualifier over there on Wednesday and then won the feature, the main event on Saturday and was pretty darn good as an 18-year-old to pick up that huge, I think what was it, guys? It was a $195,000 payday.
It's over 100.
Yep, I think the purse was $195,000.
That's a lot of money.
So
No,
really good payday.
Ah. The purse was around $1 million.
Who are you throwing a caution on?
Overall.
On John.
I said first place
He
was
won the-
195.
He said he won the purse of 195,000. The the person
Oh,
is.
that you're stretching for a caution on that one.
Yeah, that's a stretch, kid.
Excuse me, I am leader now.
I don't think so. You'd almost have to have a majority people throwing a caution for it to actually be legit at this point.
This is very true. So on to my third win of the week. And Mason, I'm gonna talk about this one. I am going to give a win of the week out to the honoring of Terry Volts.
Mm.
And a lot of tracks have done various events to kind of honor Terry and his impact in racing, not just from the Minnesota community, but across the board, because Terry was very prominent as a driver, but he was way more prominent as a promoter and Minnesota's executive director for many, many, many years. He visited a lot of tracks when he was part of the Challenge Series for the Minnesota late models. He did a lot of things that were great for not just Jamestown Speedway, but really great for Brown County Speedway. He really built up Brown County Speedway. He built up the Stampede for many, many years. And then Don and Joanne took over Jamestown, built up the Stampede as well, based on what Terry had already put into place. And then also went through and built up the Wissota 100 along with the Western 100 when Minnesota was really booming. Terry was kind of at the head of a lot of those decisions that were happening as part of the growth of Wissota during that period of time. So it was nice to see that on Saturday night, in particular in Jamestown, they honored Terry. They brought out his old pace vehicle, like his truck that he used to use kind of around the track as kind of the pack vehicle and just the vehicle that he would run around in the pits with and anything else. So they had that. His son Travis was in that, along with his grandsons were also in there. And then they honored him during opening ceremonies with his final lap around the speedway. Had all the drivers, kind of a lot of people from the pits come and line up on top of the speedway like they do for Dawn when they do the Dawn Gumpy Racers Memorial, and just kind of a good way to send Terry off. Unfortunately lost his battle with cancer. But hopefully, Terry is without pain now and looking over all of us and watching us having fun still at the racetracks with everything that we'll be doing kind of in his memory going forward.
Excellent set of wins there, John. Go ahead, Jessup. You are next.
I got quite a few to choose from here. Who do I go with? I will start with Kyle Peterlin, as he picked up a win in Proctor this past weekend. And Kyle's had what I would consider a very good racing season. He hasn't finished lower than fifth since June 12th and has only finished outside of the top 10 all year once. And that was with the DNF. So that's my first win of the week. He also got, I think, a second place up at Hibbing.
And how many wins is that now at Proctor this year, Jessup? Since you've been doing your research.
He's got 6 wins on the year, I think.
So that was his 5th win at Proctor.
Well, 5, John. Yeah, 5. My next one will go to Johnny Corral again, as this past weekend he picked up his 3rd win in a row. And this goes, let's see, he's got 3 wins at Jamestown and so far this year, and has not finished lower than 5th in the past 6 races, and hasn't finished outside of the top 10 in about a month. So Johnny's really picking it up here. So he gets my 2nd win of the weekend or the week. And I'm gonna pass on Joe Jacobson, even though he really could get a win of the week with his third straight win in a row. But I'm gonna go with Devin Fouquet, as he picked up his 1st win of the year. He picked up a feature win over at the Buffalo River in his late model, and he's been working hard with that.
Mm-hmm. Good set of wins there too, Jessup. Becca, go ahead on your wins of the week.
All right, so my first win of the week is going to go to Kyle Langland, picking up his first Midwest Modified victory at the Jamestown Speedway since 2018. His last win overall came in 2019 at the Cheyenne Speedway, but I think it's a little special and probably fitting that he won at the Jamestown Speedway because, as John just recapped with the whole Terry Volz the tributes that Jamestown Speedway did. Terry Volz, when he used to raced a 66, and that's Kyle's car number. So I thought it was a very if he was going to pick up a win this year at any racetrack, I think it was the most fitting that he picked it up at Jamestown on this particular weekend. So congratulations to Kyle Langland. My next win of the week will go to two drivers. It's going to go to Zach and Reagan Ranke, who picked up a father-son racing duo, who picked up some wins this past weekend. I did not write down where they did it. Hang on, let me scroll through. Oh,
at their home track.
Cheyenne.
Mhm.
Yep, Cheyenne Speedway. So, I think that's always very special because I think the dads will always tell you it's more special to see their kids win. So, still a very special victory for those two this past weekend at the Cheyenne Speedway. And then I think I'm gonna go with my third win with Austin Weist. He picked up his very first Jamestown Speedway victory this past weekend in the INX Legends and did it in a really thrilling fashion. So, congratulations to Austin Weist for picking up his very first Jamestown Speedway feature victory.
Excellent set of wins there, and you took the Rankies right from under me.
Sorry.
Darn you. That's all right. I got three more here. The first one I'm going to give it to is going to go to Kurt Myers. He won the Fastlane Superstock Series over the summer. Been running very well this year and picking up several feature wins on the season. And congratulations on getting the Tour Championship in the Minnesota Superstocks. Second win of the week, I'm going to give it to Dusty Bitson. He won the Fallen Lineman Mod Special over at Viking Speedway. They had a really great field of modifieds for that race, 3,000 win and 300 to start. And he had a great race and great battle with Mike Stearns to get that feature win at one of his home tracks. And so congratulations to the 10X of Dusty Bitson. And then my third and final win of the week, this will come as no surprise to people who know me well, but it's going to go to Kyle Dykoff. Last week, even before the weekend started, he was deemed the official winner of the Street Stock Little Dream race, paying $30,100, his first Street Stock Little Dream win. And he capped off a great week and continuing his great summer with the Street Stock Tour Championship and capping off the Street Stock Tour with a win at the Jamestown Speedway in a thrilling battle. So, congratulations to Kyle Dykoff. He had won the first 4 races of the series, and then we didn't have a repeat winner until this past Saturday. So that goes to show you how on top of things Kyle was. I think he was throwing out 2/5 for his throwout shows for the tour. So very, very consistent this year in the 11 machine. So those are our wins of the week. Any honorable mentions before we wrap up the show?
Joe Jacobson.
Yep.
Ryan Michelson.
You know, with the way Ryan Michelson's been running, it would have been fun to see if he could put like more of a full season together to see how many wins he could get, because he is really looking pretty sporty in that 15 car.
He did this last year though too. Remember, towards the end of the season, he looked really sporty. So especially the year-end specials, he looked really good at the year-end specials.
Yep, sweeping Gov Cup and now big win over at Jamestown with a lot of late models and no shortage of competition at those two places, especially. So, any other closing thoughts before we wrap up episode 21?
Get out there, race fans, drivers, and everybody else, and pack the track. Some of these tracks only have a couple of more shows left before they end their season. And then let's get out there and support those year-end specials. So a lot of great racing action has been happening across the board at a lot of tracks. And it's a good sight to see because a lot of tracks have had some pretty healthy car counts lately. Also a very nice thing to see. And I'm excited for year-end shows, but I'm also excited to end the season with a bang at these at our local tracks as well as other tracks across the country.
Registration for IMC Super Nationals and WISSOTA 100 are open. So go represent your home tracks and go race. It's again on a very national or regional level. So registration is open for those events. Go sign up and compete and yeah, represent your home track and do well.
Excellent. Well, I think that'll do it for episode 21 of season 4 for the Track Packers podcast. As always, be sure to like, share, and comment. Let us know where you're watching from or if you want us to talk about anything in particular. Thank you to our sponsors, Hitch Harness, The Real Deal with B1 Brody Carlsrud, and Isaac Hot Sauce Sandro. Like John said, race season is winding down, so take every opportunity to go out there and pack the track.